Hey guys, welcome back. In today's discussion, we will be discussing about API groups. This has been newly introduced concept within Anypoint platform. So we will be first going through a brief about it, and then we will go to the actual use case. Okay. So API groups, what, how, and why. So what are API groups? API groups are like basically they are helpful in bundling the different APIs which are spread across, and it is being difficult to handle each and individual application. It will be great like if we can group them on either basis of their functionality or maybe by their environment. Just it will increase the easiness for the maintenance of all these APIs. So instead of using individual resources and API from a list, the user can request access at one time for the entire API group, and he or she didn't need to raise a request every time whenever there is a need to have access for a bunch of APIs having the similar nature of SLAs. So when we create an API group, you have to customize instances of that group with different SLAs and rate limit conditions based on the problem the instance must solve. So you can then publish the API group to the Anypoint Exchange as well, so that user can subscribe to the package. And when the user are going to subscribe the package, they will request for the group level access. So all the APIs which are being requested as a part of API group, all will be given the access at one shot. So because each API group instance can include several API instances and each instance can be included multiple API group instance solution, package customization can be a different combination we can try it out. So how API group works? As an API group admin, we should be able to create an API group for a specific organization and environment. API groups can be versioned like APIs which are being contained within them, and it is being more easily to incorporate the updates. Each API group can have multiple instances, and each API group instance can have multiple API instances in it. And these instances can exist in different environment, production, testing, dev, sandbox, and whatnot. So this is just an example. There is a network of APIs. We are having two different organization, organization A and organization B, quite similar in nature, but both are maintaining two different environments, sandbox and production. Within the sandbox, QA instances are available for Twitter and Facebook APIs, and for production, the same instances, but the prod instances are available. And similarly is the case with organization B. Now this is the scattered version, but what if we create a you can say the API group. So within the API group for the organization A, we can have the QA instances at one level and the prod instances at the another level, so that whenever a QA instance is being published, only the QA instance in one shot will be applicable for both the organizations. Similarly, whenever the production instance is being touched, only the production instances will be upgraded to the latest version. So in one shot, we are going to apply the changes in bundle of APIs, not on the individual API level. So that's the greatest advantage of having the API groups. So what it is going to solve? Earlier we have a long list of APIs on portal, and we have to go through the entire list to look for a particular match. And we can minimize or limit this problem if we have a limited set or a group or bundle of APIs which is of greater interest to us. And changing multiple API plans individually to adopt a service-wide change, and we don't want that. Instead of that, if it is possible, only the specific, or if the rate limiting SLAs need to be updated for a bundle of APIs, it is much more easier to handle it using the API groups. And working to assess each element of an API when API access is approved. So we need to manage the API access on every API instance level. But if the request is being assessed through the API group, it is much more easy to handle a bundle of API rather than the individual APIs. And the API package doesn't restrict access down to the individual call and the data elements. This introduces security issues and unnecessary overhead. And also, like if we are able to put the rate limiting SLAs, which is the primary thing which we are going to do as a part of our use case as well, it is being much more easy to handle all these complications on a group level rather than going to and drilling down onto the each API level and inside API each method or the resource level. So having this background in mind, let's go to the Anypoint platform and let's see. So let me open my Anypoint platform. So how to locate the API groups? You have to log into your API manager, and here you can see this new button is coming up. You have to just click on this API groups, and you have to click on this create API group button, and you can put any logical or anything which is suiting your functionality. So maybe we can put something like um, functional group. There's some spelling mistakes, so I will put POC and I will click on continue. So now here you can see it is giving me the option. This is the current V1 version of this functional group, and I can select a specific environment. I'm currently having the sandbox only, so that's why it is showing me the single one, and I'm having these three different APIs which is already there running in my API manager and the corresponding implementation in runtime manager. So if I select any one of these, I can select if there is a more than one version, we can select that as well. Similarly, after that we can click on plus add and we can go on and on of whatever a number of APIs we want to club under this functional group heading. Okay, since I have already done, so I will walk you through with that particular implementation. So I have created a logical group name, and this is the instance about a logical group, and there are two different APIs which I have added. So once you select these, after that you have to add the SLA tiers. Okay, so how to add SLA tiers? You have to just simply click on this SLA tier and you can mention whatever your logic says. Either if it is free, I will go with automatic, and if it is a paid, then we can go for a manual approval process. For this particular use case, I have used the free instance of it, and if I show you like how it is being created, this is a free tier and number of application is 1, and 5 requests within a span of 30 seconds will be allowed for both the APIs which are being selected under this particular group, logical group. So what I will do, I will go back to this logical API group, and I can see there are two different APIs which are being selected over here. Apart from that, we need to make sure like we are having this rate limiting policy applied at the individual API level as well. So in order to do that, how we can do, um, I will go to the API admin level, and I will select the credit card. I will show for the one, it will remain the same for the other one as well. So you have to select these policies. You have to apply a new policy, and you have to search for rate limiting SLA based. Select the latest one and configure the policy. But after that, you don't have to put anything, any specific. See here, you can see like I'm not putting any specific detail like whether it is a free or what is the paid version and what is the number of allowed request and all the things. Reason being, since I'm defining all these configuration at the API group level, so that's why that will take the precedence. In case we are also giving the information or these configuration at the individual API level, then this individual API configuration will take the precedence. In other words, it will override the API group configurations of rate limiting settings. So having said that, once we are done with the API group, it will give us a option of publishing this to the exchange. So as it is already published, so that's why it is now showing me manage and share in exchange. So if I click over here, it will open up the exchange. I'm just waiting, it is taking some time. Let me try to open from this level. Yeah, now it's come up. Now you can put all the description and all the things as usual, which we are going to do with the rest in the normal scenarios. But the only change will be this group instances. Here you can see cricket team and the credit card which we have added. Visibility is being set to public, and either you can request from here, request access, or you can go to the home page and request from here. So when you click this, and you have to give the logical group and all the application name and the SLA which we have created as free tier and request access, then it will come up with client ID and client secret that you can use in your while accessing these cricket API or this credit card API. So till here we are good, and now I'm going to hit these two APIs using my Postman. Okay, so this is the Postman, and the only change which I have done is the header part. I have added the client ID and client secret, and similarly is the case with the credit card as well. Apart from the query parameter of card number, under the headers I have added the client ID and client secret. So when I hit this API, let's say hit it for the first time, I got the response. Second, third, fourth, fifth. So now it is showing the quota has been exceeded. So let me go back over here as well and let me check. So on the sixth time, it showed me quota has been exceeded. So it means our API level, API group level rate limiting SLA is working absolutely fine. And if you just want to cross check, let's try to remove these two entries, okay? And click on send. Let's see. Invalid client ID or secret. So with this particular use case, I have tried to demonstrate how to use the different API groups, how we can manage it, and even you can clean it up. So let's cover that piece as well. I will go to the API manager. I will go to the API groups. I will select this logical group. I'll click over here. I will click on delete. I will select this delete group instance. It shows group instance cannot be deleted because it still has active contracts. So go to the contracts. You have to remove this one first, revoke it, and then you have to delete it. Again, you have to go back to the group details, maybe on the API groups. Go to the logical group, click over here and delete. So this time you can see we have cleaned up all the API groups, so there is no API in place now. So let's give it a try once again. It takes some time to get it reflected. Nevertheless, but the main approach of setting up the API group, that is being done, and I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.